What it is, what it was, what's happening, cuz it's ice cold, and right now you tune into the ColdCollectiveMedia podcast. This is episode 2. Now I apologize for the delay. I had an episode that was already cooked up. It was a really solid episode. But I had a lot of issues and stuff like that, with my software, and it was like delays and buffering and stuff like that, so I couldn't upload it, unfortunately. So on this episode, we got to talk about the BET Awards celebrating 25 years of 106 in Park. Either 106 in Park or the BET Awards, one of the two. It was 102. I forgot. So if y'all know which one it is, just go ahead and comment just to let me know and remind everybody what it was about that. Then also we got to talk about Glorilla winning a gospel award. Yeah, Glorilla the rapper winning a gospel award. And also we got to discuss Timbaland. Timbaland and his new AI journey. So first we got to go ahead and just jump in on the BET Awards. When I tell you, if you didn't watch this BET Awards live, like, you really missed out. Now you could probably catch the recap, which I'm pretty sure is available on BET Plus, or whoever you have your cable or whatever through. But that was a phenomenal show. Now it kind of threw me off a little bit because I remember the BET Awards being towards the end of June, and I'm pretty sure it was always either on a Sunday or a Tuesday. One of the two. It was always on a Sunday night or like a Tuesday night. I do not remember, but this one was actually on a Monday night, and it was hosted by Kevin Hart. We had the stars were in the building. Snoop Dogg, Kirk Franklin. Who else received? I want to say Mariah Carey received the Icon Award. Was it Mariah Carey? They received some icon. Oh, and Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx put on a phenomenal speech, man. It was very emotional and stuff for him because, he had some health issues that he was battling. And then, of course, Jamie had to be Jamie. He came out with jokes and stuff. And man, Jamie Foxx just winning that award just for his like music and stuff. That is one talented dude. I put him up there with the greats. Like, when it comes to, a lot of people say Denzel Washington, and Denzel Washington is a phenomenal actor. I love all of Denzel Washington movies, but it's like I feel like when it comes to range, Jamie Foxx is up there. He's up there. When it comes to range, you got when you say Johnny Depp, you got to say Jamie Foxx. And it's like any type of character that you would like in your films, Jamie Foxx can do it. Jamie Foxx can do it. And I feel like Jamie Foxx is just so underrated. Like, people don't give him his flowers enough. And for him to be in the acting world, when he came in doing comedy, stand up comedy, and then he really got his acting and stuff going on when he was with In Living Color doing the sketch comedy with famous characters like Wanda. And then later on, Jamie Foxx will have his own Jamie Foxx show, which was pretty solid. Man, I wish they could do like a reboot on that, or I wish it had a lot more seasons. But for Jamie Foxx to do that in the acting world and then go ahead and drop what, 1 or 2 albums on everybody in the music world, and they were hits. He dropped some hits. Remember, like, DJ play a love song with Twista and Unpredictable. Like, I don't understand why Jamie Foxx just dropped them albums and just said, F it. Just, all right, I'm cool going back to acting. Like, bro, we need a whole nother album, because that was like some real life R&B, some real true R&B from an incredible legend. Man, I would love to see Jamie Foxx in the movie with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence. I think that would be a phenomenal film. It just be filled with comedy. It just has to have the right story. Just needs the right story. But man, Jamie Foxx is a phenomenal, just talented human being, man. Just how he was able to portray Ray Charles in the movie Ray, and it's just like he played Ray better than Ray. He played Ray better than Ray. I'm pretty sure it was kids that was actually thinking that was Ray Charles if they seen that film that Jamie Foxx played in. So shout out to Jamie Foxx, man. But BET came out. I didn't know what to expect, but because the last few years it was just all right. It was all right. But this one was like a classic. Whoever was the producer on this, They need to come back. Whoever put on this show had the lineup and everything was hitting. Everything was on point. And it was a long show. It was a long, it felt like a black funeral. Like this mother, it's like, dang, okay, y'all done went past a little 3 hours. Y'all done went past the 3 hours and stuff. Like, they about 4.5 hours or so. But man, shout out to Kevin Hart, man. I know a lot of Kevin Hart been getting a lot of flack by the black community, and there's a lot of people saying that, oh, Kevin Hart ain't funny and this and that. And I'm just like, man, Kevin Hart got to this platform, to this scale, from being funny. There's no way you can be selling out stadiums just doing jokes and you not funny. So I feel like Kevin Hart was a solid host. He came in with the jokes, and I really do like the black tux affair that he had, for everybody wear. So everybody was just on point with the outfits. Now, you had a few that had to, be a little extra read out about it, but for the most part, everybody was just on point with their outfits, and he was just clicking. And then it was funny because he was just like, "Hey, we ain't doing no after party. It's about to get slippery. And, he was referring to Diddy. And now some people in the audience, they ain't, you can look at their faces like, "Hey, what you doing, bro?" And I don't know why people scared to say Diddy. I guess he probably ain't want to say Diddy because of lawsuits or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's probably why he didn't say that. But it was pretty funny because he was like, no after party. And they ain't have no after party. They ain't have no, they ain't trying to get locked up. They ain't trying to get locked up. They ain't trying to get no fines. They ain't trying to do none of that or whatever. But that was a phenomenal show. And I'm pretty sure they ain't had no after party because everybody was tired. Because that show was about 4.5 hours. You had some phenomenal performances. Man, the 106 in Park, when they brought out all these people from the early 2000s, from Jim Jones when he was performing like We Fly High, that was pretty dope. Then B2K, with all the issues that they've been having over the past few years and stuff, for them to be able to link back up and to perform together, and everything was just cohesive. They were just clicking with everything, able to do all their moves and stuff. I think that was pretty dope. That's pretty dope. And some bands, they don't last forever. They have like their peak, and then after that, it's like they all split up, or one of the leaders of the band, they go solo. If you look at NSYNC, when Justin Timberlake, he just went solo. Now, of course, Amarion did go solo, but the fact that he was able to come back with his group where he started it all, and B2K had some hits, and I just felt like that was like pretty dope. That was pretty dope. Bow Wow performing, and I know a lot of people wanted him and Sierra to perform like you. And I kept seeing a lot of people in the comments saying, "Oh, Sierra didn't perform because she's married now." And I'm like, what does that have to do with anything? She not kissing Bow Wow. Yeah, they made that song and stuff together, and that was a wonderful hit. But her being married has nothing to do with anything. It's just like how she makes some of the songs she makes, the clothes that she wears, what she does in some of her videos that might be a little bit provocative and stuff. She's still married, but at the end of the day, it's still entertainment. You have actors and actresses that are married, and they perform love scenes in films, in movies. Look at, well, I don't want to say Will and Jada. They might not be a solid thing, but the issues that Will and Jada had nothing to do with their on-screen performances. So you have a lot of talent. If you look at the show Sisters, and what's his name? I cannot think. Zach. If you look at Zach and Fatima, both of them are actors and actresses. Of course, those are not their real names. So, and Zach is actually married. He's actually married, and so for him to do all these performances in that show, where he has kissed with 2 or 3 women on screen, he's portraying a character, and it's all for entertainment. It's not there. They don't have any type of love interest outside of that, and that he's actually physically doing something with somebody else. He actually kisses somebody. So for y'all to trip out on talking about, oh, Sierra ain't do this and stuff because she married, like, that's crazy as hell to me. Maybe, I don't know, maybe she didn't show up to rehearsals. Maybe it was a last minute thing to perform that song, or maybe she just didn't want to do it. Hey, we don't know. She was still at the award show looking fine as ever. My bad, Russell. But that it was Bow Wow still put on a solid performance. He also hosted the red carpet before the show, and just by him doing this for so many years, man, he was just so fluid with hosting. And then during that red carpet, I want to say Raz B, he was just talking about, it was like, hey, what about us doing a tour and stuff together and stuff, and then all the members and stuff. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do a tour and stuff. So I think that would be phenomenal for them all to go on tour and just just everybody getting money, everybody getting to the bag, everybody getting to the bag. We had some more dope performances from artists. Lil Wayne performed. He performed one of his songs off of the new Carter 6 album that just dropped. And a lot of people been talking down on Wayne, but Wayne he's been doing this for about 2 decades, man, and dropping metaphor, punchlines, and everything. And he put on a solid performance. He performed a Millie as well. So that, I think that was pretty dope. Actually, that was really dope for Lil Wayne to actually show up at the BET Awards, man. It's like a lot of these superstars don't never show up at the BET Awards. And speaking of that, when these artists go to the BET Awards, or let's just say with awards in general, they always nominate artists that they know are not going to be there. They nominate artists that they know are not going to be there. And I got love for all these mainstream superstars, but I feel like, hey, if you haven't been to the award show in 2 years, you do not need to get nominated for nothing. And I don't really like that, how these superstars don't show up for the BET Awards. Y'all know it's going to happen in June. So you need to make sure that you get the appropriate dates around that time, unless you filming a movie or something like that. But make sure that you have your schedule available so you can show up at these BET Awards, because this is for us. This is like our culture. And for these superstars not to show up on a consistent basis is crazy. But y'all gonna be right there for the MTV Awards, the music video awards and stuff. Y'all gonna make sure y'all show up for them. But when it comes for our culture and stuff, y'all don't show up, but y'all get nominated. And then here go the person, it's like, oh, sorry, such and such can't be here, but we'll accept this award on their behalf. Like, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. So we gotta show up. We gotta show up for the BET Awards. We gotta show up. Now, Glorilla, she hasn't won a BET award prior to this night. She hasn't won a BET award, but she's been nominated. And so this that award show, she won a gospel song. So a lot of people in the gospel community are really upset about that, and they're like, man, we gotta do better with this, and they're just upset because she's a quote unquote secular artist. But I get it that she's a secular artist, but the song that was nominated, that wasn't a secular song. It was featuring Kirk Franklin. Now we know how people feel about Kirk Franklin. How a lot of the gospel world, they feel like he shouldn't work with some of these mainstream artists. He's doing too much with his dancing, this and that. And that's the challenges, man. It's just like when you do gospel music, it's like they want you to be super perfect. But I didn't work with a lot of them, and man, I can't. Some of the stories that I have working behind the scenes with some just band members, it's crazy. But I feel like Glorilla shouldn't even get all this flack that she's getting, because for one, again, she did not cuss in a song that was nominated. Yes, that was a part of her album that did have cursing and stuff in it, but that one particular song didn't have it. And I feel like that was a great opportunity, because by her bringing in Kirk Franklin on that song, and then what she was just speaking about and stuff, that opens up a wider audience. It opens up a wider audience to the genre. So now you have people that listen to rap or whatever, and that follow Glorilla, and they're a fan of her. Maybe they're gonna start checking out Kirk Franklin music, or maybe they'll start checking out some gospel music in general. Hey, let's check this out. So I feel like she shouldn't just get that much flack. And then with gospel artists, it's like, hey, okay, work with the mainstream artists. We know that these people are up here, and gospel music hasn't really been hitting in the past couple of years. Now, there's some songs out there, but I'm speaking on a mainstream level. On a mainstream level, it's just some songs, it just hadn't been there for me. Just for me. This is just my opinion. For me, it just hasn't been there. But I feel like, hey, it's cool. maybe we need to check out the other nominees for the records and just to see if those records were actually better than the one that Glorilla had. But hey, she just in that mode right now. She clicking on everything. Now I'm surprised that she didn't win like best new artist, or well, actually, I don't think she was nominated for best new artist because she would have won that last year. But I'm surprised she didn't win any other award because she really been doing it within the past year, man. She really been doing it. But hey, shout out to Glow. Shout out to Glow. But that was one phenomenal performance. Snoop Dogg went up there, and this is like Snoop got some bangers. Snoop got some bangers. He is definitely he's definitely an icon. He's definitely one of the greats. He had a has a phenomenal career. Snoop Dogg is actually a brand, in my opinion. He's just beyond a rapper. He is a brand. It's pretty much the whole world knows who Snoop Dogg is. He's doing all these commercials, all these movies, and everything that he's doing. But it's just, man, I just hate that he had to taint his name for what he did earlier this year by performing at Trump's inauguration and stuff, doing it. Especially after what Snoop Dogg had said before, calling people, I think he called them jigaboos or something, it's somebody that's supporting Trump and stuff like that. And then for him to go ahead and do that, and it's like, Snoop, you ain't need the money, bruh. You ain't need the money, bruh. So I don't understand why they. Maybe we need to have a sit down with Snoop and just ask him like, hey, what made you feel like you needed to do this, especially after what you said before, and then now you don't like the fact that people have turned against you for what you did. It's just like, so, hey, we need to go ahead and sit down and figure out, okay, hey, what's up with that, Snoop? What's up with it? Moving on, man. We Kevin Hart worked out with he brought Kai Cenat and Drewski on stage. That was a pretty solid thing, and I could tell it looked like Drewski was he was in that mode, but it's just like he was a little bit nervous a bit. Maybe that just could have been me, but that lets you know how phenomenal Kevin Hart is and how much of a professional and great he is at this comedy thing. Cause he was hitting Drewski left and right, even some behind the scene videos, and it's like Drewski couldn't come back quick enough for Kevin Hart. Maybe he would just chill or whatever. I would have fired Kevin up, especially you shorter than me. Ah, bro, I gotta fire you up, bro. I gotta fire you up, bro. But that was Kevin Hart did his thing. He did his thing. I'm really happy that he was able to hop on this award show and really just do a solid job, man. He did a phenomenal job. And also, man, y'all got to get on YouTube and look at that Kurt Franklin performance. I think it's about 8 minutes long. He played the great songs like Melodies from Heaven, Do You Want a Revolution, man. He just put on a phenomenal performance. Now, we got to get on Timbaland. So I already was feeling some type of way, and Timbaland is a great. He is one of the greats as far as when it comes to producing. The things that he did with so many artists, especially Aaliyah, rest in peace, man. Timbaland has put out some great records. The record he did with Justin Timberlake and 50 Cent, man, he put it, man. Timbaland list is just long. But I hate when him and Swiss Beats they created a project called Verzuz during COVID. And Verzuz, we were watching that on Instagram Live. Two artists going against each other, just battling with their hits. And then we start doing it in person. So then we'll have the artists, they'll rent out an arena or something like that, and they'll do it in person. And that was something phenomenal. I wish it could go on like, 4 times a year, like every quarter or something like that, and just have a solid verses. I think it's pretty dope. Or just go to, different cities and stuff like that, and then put something on like every month, or every month or every other month. That would have been pretty dope, man. I was really excited to see more artists verse each other, and I hate that both of them sold it. We had something for the culture, and then y'all decide to sell it. I think that is crazy. And after they sold it, nothing else happened with the platform. It just that's it. So it feels like whoever bought it, they just bought it to keep it, stop it from happening. I don't understand why they purchased it, that brand, and then they don't do anything with it. I think that is that's crazy as hell. So I really don't understand why Timberland and Swiss Beats sold it. Like it makes no sense. I don't believe that they're hurting for money at all, and for them to sell it for millions. Yeah, they got millions, but sometimes you need to keep some things just for like the culture. That's something that we had. That's something that we had that they created, and it's like now it's just taken away. Now I don't know if something else, far as Versus, is going to come back in the near future, but I was just so disappointed in them doing that. So bam, it's strike one with Timberland. Then recently, Timberland has been on his TikTok live, and on his TikTok live, he had artists were able to send him music. Now I don't know if he was charging them to instant play. I'm not sure, but artists were able to send in their songs, and he will review it. And he was doing this like every day. He was doing this like every day. Artists were sending their music, and he was just listening to it and telling them, "Hey, this is dope. Oh yeah, yeah, this is some meat. Oh, this needs some more work. So hey, you in the right direction and stuff." Like it was pretty dope. And so I'm thinking like, okay, he's scouting artists and stuff, because somebody gonna send something in there that's gonna be phenomenal and stuff, and then bam, he gonna probably put a bag behind them or produce them and put some records out with them. That's what I thought the whole overall goal was. Nah, all them artists send their stuff in, and what Timberland do? He goes and create his an AI label. I don't. Let me see if I can look up the name. Do I have the name in my notes? I do not have the name. So if one of y'all just go ahead in the comments right now and we just comment the name of this label that Timberland has just created, but it's an AI label, and he decides to sign an AI artist. Bruh, so to me, that it just makes us feel that you had all these people sending their records, sending their music, their songs that they worked on, that they worked hard on. A lot of these people probably either recorded at home, or if they didn't record at home, they had to use their hard earned money to go to the studio to record these records, to get them mixed and mastered, to send them to you, some great quality that they spent using their craft to create these projects, and send it to you in hopes that you really feeling it, and maybe can give them an opportunity, give them some solid advice. But what do you do? What did you do? You gathered everybody's information to put in your little system or whatever that you have, so that way you could get their styles, their tone, their voice, writing style, all of this. Gather all this information for the AI system. That way you could create your own label. And when you say sign an AI artist, nobody's controlling that artist. That artist is under you. So now you're feeding everybody's information. You collected all of their data from everything that they sent in to you. They sent that in to you. You collected all their data so that you can use that data for your AI artist. So now you AI artist is gonna put out some quality bangers, because they have so many different artists that they're that you're building that platform off of. So it's like it's like this is like a villain story. It's like a villain story. What was the dude name? Thanos, when he had the little, and this is like, so bam, you collecting everybody's energy, you getting everybody's talent, getting all of their talent and stuff to put in this AI artist, and this is AI artist is gonna be a superstar. Now we seen a label try to do that with FM Mika, whatever that artist name was. They created an Instagram page for this AI artist, and then you were just seeing these videos and stuff, and it was like rapping and stuff, but it was like cussing, and well, really it was just saying nigga and stuff a lot, and got a lot of flack, a lot of backlash. So they put a stop to that, and this just shows greed. This shows greed. Why in the hell are you gonna start an AI label to put out an AI artist when it's so many talent, so many young and old talent out there There is a Dr. Dre out there right now. There's a Lil Wayne. There's a Beyonce. There's a Jay-Z. You know, there's a the next Drake. There's the next Rick Ross. There's the next 50 Cent out there right now. And all they need to do is get discovered. But instead of you doing that, you going to sit there and create this AI artist so you could just pocket more money. After that, I can't fool with them no, bro. I cannot fool with them no more. I just can't. I just can't. Look, what can you say? What can you say? There ain't nothing you can say. Now you will probably be on there and like, try to justify everything that you're doing and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's not gonna make any sense. It's not. So if Timbaland does this and he's successful, guess what? All these other platforms are watching. All these other labels are watching. All these other producers are watching. All of these other mega stars, these mega rappers, these mega singers, all of them are watching Timbaland. And if he's successful with this, they are going to follow suit. It's already been difficult the past several years because these labels been putting money behind trash. People with no talent, just huge followings, and putting them out there. And that's why the substance isn't the same. That's why the music isn't the same anymore. You don't have a lot of people that's talented anymore. Y'all just looking at how many followers they got. Oh, they got a lot of followers. Man, I can just put a little money behind them and bam. And that's the direction that we're heading into. That's the direction we're heading into. Well, that concludes today's episode. I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. Man, go ahead and give me a like, comment, share your feelings. Whatever you want to say, just drop it in the comments. And follow us on TikTok and Instagram at ColdCollectiveMedia. ColdCollectiveMedia, man. We're just trying to change the game and trying to take things to a whole nother level and put the spotlight on the culture while also giving artists a voice. So, hey, if you got some songs, you got a music video and stuff, go ahead and send me a DM on Instagram at ColdCollectiveMedia. I will drop it on my Instagram and I will drop it on my TikTok. We are at so far 21.6 thousand followers on TikTok. Unfortunately, the Instagram, we are only at the 80 threshold, and I think Facebook we're about 200 followers or stuff. But hey, more than one follower is still great. So we're gonna get there. We will get there. But hey, I always remember, if it ain't ice, it ain't cold.